The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
A&B Properties is Quincy's largest apartment rental company with hundreds of units available. They offer short-term and long-term rentals with 1 up to 4 bedroom apartments. A&B Properties meets the needs of its tenants with care, compassion, and a quality of service that exceeds expectations. A&B Properties also has a convenient tenant app for you to do your payments or make repair requests. Give them a call today. A&B Properties, 217-919-8080, Quincy.
Not as tall as me, but
No.
You sit over there and rock it. You're good.
Clean, you're queen there with the...
damn straight.
Does it fit? Because you can put your legs under there?
No.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I can if I just want to, like, hang here.
She had
How's
that
that
stool
look?
she had that one that just kind of spins down.
I guess I
Lower.
can. I guess I can. I just need to stop
have
being
to.
dramatic.
It's just your throne. You can stand sit all you want.
Oh, yes, diva. My
I am
diva.
the queen.
That's right.
I am
Tommy
the
Frese,
queen.
welcome.
Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
buddy.
You know, I don't have to sit across the hall and lick the glass anymore. Like, I'm actually part of Club Muddy. Like, this is, like, so good.
You feel good about it?
Well, and after the first segment, I'll be like, how you doing?
Yeah. How you doing?
Thank you for
That's
not
right.
eavesdropping,
I
too,
know.
by the way.
Well,
Right.
you know, didn't have the glass against the door today.
Dang it.
Bob, could you be wearing any more clothes?
Yeah.
It's sweaty.
That's so
I
funny.
might be warm.
Every once in a while, I look over there and catch your eye. I'm like, hey,
Oh
Tommy.
yeah, it's so hard to not
Yeah.
like do things that I know will distract you.
Oh, you
I'm
used
like,
to when I had the front office there. Yeah,
Yeah,
you used
it's
to.
just I could. There's so many things I think of and I don't. So instead, Dave Adam comes over and I distract him and
Yeah.
make funny stories for him that he just shakes his head about.
Ashley
So
got
it's-
claustrophobic. That's why we can't shoot in
Get
front
her out
office
there.
anymore.
It just, I think it was too professional for me. I was like, I belong at like a table with people. I
And
can't
drinks.
sit. Yeah. It
Well,
was
it's like
way
we're
too.
it's like we're sitting
professional.
back at the Abbey on a
Right?
Monday night. You know, when they were open. That's how
Ah,
old we
the
are.
memories.
We're
You
so
know-
old we remember when the Abbey was open on Mondays. That's funny.
it's-
That's
The
good
Abbey is where we met.
yes.
Many, many, many moons ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. And how much fun did we used to have?
It was a
So-
different era.
It was.
It was something. I mean, that was back in the day when the Abbey was a bar.
We used to talk. We were just talking about that.
Softball team. I mean, everybody coming in. We had the not so appropriate names on the back of our shirts
Yep.
as co-eds.
Yep.
and-
So it was more bar than restaurant. then.
oh, absolutely.
100%.
And every time you could just hear Gabe go, make more money if it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Just make more money if it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
We're like, can we just have some more beer?
Yeah, just get us round of
You know,
shots.
How about
round
those
of shots.
wings? Let's get some more wings.
We were
and
talking
beer.
about
So,
karaoke night, how they used to have someone at the door carding after 9 because it was that busy. I mean, assholes to elbows. And being a server at that time, learning to balance all of the drinks above everyone's head while getting through the crowd, it's a skill that I lack today, but it was something that back then it was like, oh man, you hated it. You knew that it was going to be an awesome end of the night, but those people, man, you
they
had to
were
listen to this.
diehards.
Yeah,
Diehards.
yes.
Like, and if they didn't get to sing,
Yes.
it was ugly.
Yes.
Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember those days.
Yep.
Jeez, yeah.
It was fun, but man, week after week after week, same song, same singer. You were like,
The Elvis dude.
who's that?
The one dude sounded like Elvis. Who sung all the Elvis songs, right?
Oh, white
Wasn't there one of
hair,
those?
white hair
Yeah,
guy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And then Larkin, R.I.P. He was amazing.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled
Yeah.
out. I can't tell you how many times I pulled out the Top Gun. I mean, that was a, you know, regular things aren't working for you, and you're like, you know what? I am not going home alone
Yeah.
tonight. I'm pulling out She Lost That Love
Yes.
and Feeling, and
You did too.
it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. You
did great.
You know, and I actually got
It's a
married
panty
off
dropper.
of that act.
It's a panty dropper. Yeah.
First marriage got
Oh,
that one.
that is so
I have never
funny.
sung that song again.
I can understand that.
She lost
So,
that love and feeling.
I was always
did.
Suspicious Minds was mine.
Oh, I could pull that back
I
out.
don't
That's a
even know
good
what
one.
that is.
We're caught in a trap.
Oh,
I can't hold back.
okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that came out. I came out of my little Pandora the other day, and
Yeah.
I turned that up, and everybody looked at me like, "What? Who's that?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Freaking the king. Who do you
Elvis?
think it is?
Really, the
I have
only
no idea.
The only song I would sing, and it would be with friends, was "Bitch." If you can imagine that, yeah. And,
It's all right.
Yeah,
The Bitch is Back?
No, it's "Bitch" by like I don't
Cooper?
even know. No, Not even that cool. But my girlfriend and I used to sing it. That would be after many, many, many drinks because I have to have liquid courage before I can get up there.
When you think about that, too, I mean, it would escalate beyond that when the dancing would start with the karaoke.
Yes.
And then at those nights is when we could see our good friends, Carla and my wife, currently
Oh,
Tiffany.
gosh. Tiff and Carr.
I never figured out how Tiff was always so tall on there, but Carla could just motor around those cloppy high heels of hers and go from like bottom bar to top bar. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I never figured out how she did it.
She just ducked under everybody's arms, I think, because she was that
She
height.
just walked across people. I think it was almost like a mosh thing where she could just go all the way around.
But eventually Gabe got his way to make it a restaurant.
It is now more of a restaurant and, of course, great food and still great times. But the bar scene.
We all just still love
of course. Who doesn't love him?
Bar scene's different.
It's
a
almost
different
gone
beast,
now.
too.
I feel like it died with us, maybe. Like the regulars. Not dead, but it kind of like, as we became more.
I said she's not dead, not the bar scene. I'm talking about her.
But the bar scene is different. I mean, Brittany can probably attest to that. I know that even Spring Street has seen like a different clientele with a little less. Like at the Abbey days, it was like you had the Homans and the JD Walbrink and the guys that come in and be like, 75 vodka bombs, and you're back there pouring these shots for like
Ray.
hours. Ray, yeah. And now it's like, I swear people don't even do shots anymore.
No,
I mean, I do.
There's certain bars. I mean, I think it's kind of evolved into, you've got like this mature type of area where you go, and then you've got the ones who really want to drink have found the different bars to go do that, because it has. I mean, I think these bars have had to change because you don't have that type of crowd. I mean, let's be honest, you don't want to walk out and the second you start that car, the circus lights are going.
Yeah.
I mean, you're done. I mean, that's the thing.
You think that's what it is? You think
I think that's a
huge
part of it.
How late do you stay out? What's
if
your
I'm out,
what can you still pull off?
I can pull off a 1 a.m.er.
What?
Yeah, I can. I
you
got to get a ride
insane?
for my mom or dad.
I was dozing off at a reception at 9 o'clock the other night. I was like, why am I here?
That's like a special occasion, though. Like, I'm not going to go out on a Wednesday and pull a 1 a.m.
Well, no. I mean, we had this talk the other day. It's like, it was with my daughter. It's like, it was the shampoo effect.
Yeah.
You went to work. We all met at the Abbey. We were all out there. You stayed. You closed it down. Somehow we would stumble back to someone's apartment, usually mine. Then you go back and be like, oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. You'd sit there and start again, like, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I can't go out tonight. The next thing you know, you're sitting at the same bar.
Because it's almost like kind of like okay, it's kind of like childbirth. You kind of forget the pain of it because you don't. It's like FOMO. You don't want to miss out. You always knew there were going to be fun people. There were always going to be some crazy antics happening, and you did not want to be the one to miss out.
No.
I feel like now there may not be that kind of level of we'll call it insanity a little bit. You didn't have nobody was. Dancing on the bar. Nobody's dancing on the bar anymore, right? Nobody's swinging from the rafters. Nobody's.
And why?
Right.
Why is this still not happening?
It's so sad.
And we went from. Did we have? Is it my imagination, or did we have more late night places than we had now too?
Well,
more late night
the fact that we could still
options.
go to the Forum when we were still around. That was. Especially with Culver, and we'd come over here, and the best part of coming over from Culver and going to the Forum on those nights was running into my dad's friends.
Oh,
The businessmen of
Quincy
come in here. I come walking in with all the college crew, and they'd be like, "Little Frese,
yeah,
why don't you bring those little honeys over here, and we'll buy them a quarter draw." Boys, don't you go overboard.
Yeah,
you get them that quarter draw.
Big spenders.
That's gonna do a lot.
All right,
for
you just solidified my entire viewpoint. I would rather be called honey by a younger guy than an older guy. Done at the end. Yeah. But. Yeah, I do remember that. Also,
O'Griff's was a good one too at one time.
Yeah, Starlight, Starbright.
Oh.
I just saw a really cool. I don't even know if it's true or not, but I really want to dig into this. A history post about the Starlight and how it caught fire, and there are some like secret rooms that people think are haunted and blah blah blah. And it came out right on Halloween, so it was of course a really cool story. But I think it's interesting, and I think the history of all of the bars in town, especially like. What's the one that just closed? It went through so many iterations, Hot Shots and the Ozone and.
Is that like Gen Z now or something like that?
Yeah, but I think it just
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Tone Loc was supposed to be there like in September. And I think Tone Loc found out you get like 50 people in there. That ain't no funky Cold Medina's coming up in here.
We ain't doing the wild. We ain't doing the wild thing.
Up in here. I say, shoot, I gotta go. I'm missing my flight. I can't make it up in there.
Missed out on that one. You know what?
Who
Those
didn't want to go to that though?
DUIs though. So speaking of that, I did see that there is a local guy, and hopefully I'm not busting him out because he's just been on Facebook, who's trying to start a taxi company in Quincy.
I saw that.
And I say kudos to that fella. I don't know how long it'll last. That Jonathan Show and Case guy tried it, right? But I think he was a
Jimmy Patterson says we're getting Uber.
Well, I mean, we have Lyft if you can get one.
Yeah, but it's like half the time you get it, it's like inactive.
Yeah.
Not signed in.
Yeah, my mom and my dad are my Lyfts.
Like who wants it? I mean, you think about it. They're like, I don't want to deal with these idiots.
Yeah.
That's the one part about Scott leaving for college that's like we don't have that at home anymore.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky.
No, we're not lucky. We'd want that one guy.
Oh, I know. I got the young Padawan across the hall.
Yeah.
He's doing that now, and it's like he gets out and does that, and the phone calls. And luckily, he calls Tiff. He doesn't call me.
Oh, I'm talking about
that's the best part.
See, I would be calling Ian to drive you though. That's what I would call Scott to drive me. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't get myself up in this new trucky guy. You got some big.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'd have to pull myself up in that. I was just in Florida on business, and they did me the nice. They said, Mr. Frese, we've updated your rental for you. I'm like, sweet. I got a convertible. I'm in Florida. I go out. It's like a full size Ram pickup.
Oh.
Okay, 5'10", 250.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what kind of force it took to
I bet
pull
you
me up
looked
into that
real
truck?
graceful.
I was so sore when I got back. I'm like, I never want a truck again. And then Ian goes and gets this big truck, and I'm like, well, you're never taking me anywhere. I can't. That's bigger than what I was in.
That's so funny.
That's work.
Yeah, it's not
that's
happening.
work I
Who
don't
wants
want to
that?
do.
All right. So,
Get a follow
Ian, you mentioned your one kiddo, so we're going to have to give the others a shout out because we can't leave anybody out, right?
Girls.
We've got
Okay.
the full group. We've
Yep,
got
let's hear it.
Cameron now. Cameron, oldest, 24, doing great. Just got engaged, married next year.
Congratulations.
Working for a law firm down in Edwardsville, so she's doing great. Peyton, my little, she's mine.
Yeah.
That DNA
No
test
denying
never
it.
has to happen.
Yeah.
No. And it has nothing to do with looks or anything. The temper.
Yeah.
Yeah, temper there. Yeah. So she's working at the Carter's Coffee Bar and
Okay.
at Barney's right now and
All right.
trying to figure out the ways of the world. And, we got to have a nice daddy-daughter talk the other night, which those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Remember the whole I told you so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just remember that.
You
And
know
they
what,
give you
though?
the stank eye.
Yeah, but you got to let them learn. And
like
like
figure it out. We were
please,
all there.
as far as bartending and stuff, I mean, I tell everybody to this day, if I could still do it with health insurance and not being there till 2 a.m., I'd be there. Sign me up.
Oh, she
100%.
loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. It's great. Like
Yeah,
it's just
it's
it's a
amazing.
rush. I mean, I can tell you that when I was doing it at a place. I mean, it's great. You sit there, you get
Love
to
it.
be with people. It's done. All of a sudden, like your night's done.
Yep.
Like, how did that 6 hours just go by?
It's a different kind of stress. It's like you do still have stress, but it's not like the, oh shit, I got to take this home with me. Unless, of course, there's something extraneous that happens. But yeah.
So she's liking that. I know the TJ and them are taking great care of her. She's loving that. Ian's learning the business. He's doing really well. So
Yeah.
we got him turned around a little bit. He's something. I love to hear the going to Mizzou stories. Going down there now. I'm like, Bob, you going this weekend? You can go hang out with Ian.
Right.
I wants any of that. And then we've got Harper. We're going
Yeah.
to the studio with
Bean.
Harper Bean.
Oh, we love Harper Bean.
She keeps
Yeah.
me young.
Yeah.
I tell you what, she is a 10-year-old comic. I had her parent-teacher conference the other day, and it was like, I apologize.
Yeah.
Probably for the playful banter. And he's like, oh, yeah. I was like, my bad, dude.
Oh
Sorry.
no, you should
yeah.
never apologize
And
for
like
that.
she throws
That's
it
what keeps
off.
things
It's great because
interesting.
she's gotten so good at it. Like she starts it, but then like she'll throw it off on the person next to her. So then they get kind of the wrath. And
Yeah.
then she's sitting there like, I did my job.
Yeah.
I'm good.
They're washing their hands.
They laughed. Everybody laughed.
So
That's awesome.
kids are great. They are. It's fun to watch them grow up.
Yeah.
Parenting's fun.
It is.
I mean, you got the bad sometimes, but I'll take that
All-
every
it's
day.
all
and-
phases, and
gosh.
one is more interesting than the next is. They're good and bad of everything. My mom will say that she enjoyed every phase, even though some were exhausting. I call her a liar, but I think when you grow out of the phases, again, it's kind of like childbirth. You kind of forget, so then you look back fondly on the memories, and it is bittersweet to watch your kids grow.
Well, wait till they get to the point where my two oldest are, when you start having the relationship stuff. You have to have those conversations. And it's like, it's you just have to just always tell them. It's always something like, guys, look, we've been there.
Yeah.
We're trying to help you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not just trying to get you because I don't like him or I like him or I'd rather do this. It's like,
we have
we've
experience.
just been there.
Yeah.
It's like, just listen, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I don't want to keep sitting this whole, let's pick you up, let's do this stuff. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, we're pretty lucky with our oldest. I mean, Ryan, her fiance is,
Stand up, dude.
he's a good dude.
Good.
The fact that Harper sits there and just call him the dumpster and and to watch the two bicker, but it's a fun bicker and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that's gonna work when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Because we said you had the friends comments earlier. It's like the friendly bickering that they all had in theirs. It's like you see that with them, and it's like that's
That
gonna
works.
work. That's
Yeah.
gonna work because that you need to have that.
If you can have fun,
Yeah.
Oh
I always say
gosh.
if you can play together, you'll stay together. Because if you can't have fun and there's like that control or the jealousy or the blah, it's like that's probably never going to work.
Yeah, and that's the fun part. You see them the social media part in our lives now. You get to see you and your husband.
Yeah.
Out. You get to see you and your wife out and stuff, and you see how things like that work out.
Dynamic.
And
Yeah.
that's nice. I mean, you see that because back in the Abbey days, you didn't see that.
It's probably a good
A
thing.
lot of times, you probably didn't see what even happened the next day.
Well, I couldn't see like 10 feet in front of my face most of the time because I was that inebriated. I will own up to that. And then I did have some questionable choices in men, but I think it all taught me kind of what I was willing and not willing to accept. And I think that's why you kind of have to go through you can say I told you so, but kids still have to kind of go through that so they know what they will and won't accept.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
In all
You get
aspects.
to that age thing now. It's like one of my best friend Scott sat there and said the other day. He was, I was talking to somebody and I was like, "Dude, come on, hey, let's look. You're single. She's single. It's
Okay.
whatever." And then she laughed and everything. And he goes, "But what does she bring to the relationship?" What did we ever say? Did we say that when we were?
You want to know how I know you're old?
There was what do you bring out the door when we leave? There was no what big picture.
Yeah.
What is that ridiculousness?
No, you were like this. Okay, which one looks like they may go home with me? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when you're sitting, we'd be sitting at the lower bar,
Yeah.
we'd be the top bar, and it would just be the whole
The
bed
LBC.
up. I bet you can't take her home. And I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Game on, drop
Yeah.
the billfold, which had about $8 in it
Yeah,
at the
it
time.
turns out they were
After
right,
you-
Dude,
after
float me at 20.
Jaeger bombs.
Float me at 20. I know I can take her home.
Oh
float
my
me at 20.
gosh. Yeah, it's
Or
like
it's
the
like,
stuff you got
Gabe,
yourself
charge
into.
that. Charge
Gabe,
that.
Gabe, come on, Tab, Gabe, come on.
I'll be back tomorrow.
I'll be,
dude.
Gabe.
You could always pull that because we were
because you
there.
were.
Yeah.
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 So I
So
was never there as much as my brother. I mean,
Now,
let's be honest.
I
He's
was
got a
gonna
bar
say,
stool there with
again,
his name on it.
R.I.P.
But,
to Timmy. But yeah,
that
he was the leader of the LBC, which is what we called the lower bar crew. Always a good time. He would come in through the back door. That's how regular he was.
Oh yeah, we would show
Yeah.
up we'd be like sometimes like 2:30.
Yeah.
Like if it was a bad day at the yard and we got mad at Bobby.
Yeah.
It was like he'd be like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Where are we going?"
Yep.
You know where we're going.
Yep.
We
Yep.
walk in and Gabe would be like, "Nobody's here yet. Just write it down on a napkin."
Yep.
The honor system, boy. The honor
Amen.
system. That's a lost art right there.
It is,
So,
no doubt about it.
a lost art.
One of the other things, in along with the social stuff, is the fact that some of the other fun you have is you own and run your own business, but so does your wife.
Yes.
So two small business owners under the same roof.
And we haven't even
Yeah.
mentioned your business name yet. So why don't you go ahead and
Tri-City
say?
Sports.
There we go.
Tri-City
Right
Sports
across
here
the
in Main
hall.
Center, right across the hall.
Your wife, of course, owns
we've-
Q-Dance.
She owns Q-Dance. Probably about the biggest dance studio here in town. I think she's got about 230 kids
And
this
growing.
year, and keeps. I don't get it.
I
A
do.
lot of little women like that. I'm like, how?
You know why?
How?
I'll say it
She's
again.
a saint.
She has. If you look at I've gone to recitals, and this isn't knocking the other places. The difference is palpable, not just in their dance, but in the way the girls shine on the stage, their behavior off the stage. It's just a really good place.
And the other funny feedback thing that you get on that is from dads.
Yeah.
When you sit there and you sit there and be like, Dad's like, I just can't even stand going to these. They're so long and there's nothing.
Oh my gosh,
to
not
it.
Luke. And
And you get to this and it is. And I'm not tooting my wife's horn, but there is always like a story behind it.
It's so
That's
cool.
the nice thing.
Right.
It's like, and it flows from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And all of a sudden you're like, that was 2.5 hours.
The music
Where'd that
choices, the choreography, again, the girls, the talent, the skill, just the general feeling of the entire recitals, plural. It's entertainment. It's not a chore. which that is different.
It's a fun deal. And then,
cool.
the competition aspect on top of it, being able to go to that, and, all my girls have been in it. And it's, when you watch them grow, it is an amazing feeling as a parent.
Yeah.
Like it truly is. Because it's, Cameron, my oldest, Cameron was always very reserved and kind of laid back. And, she'd always say, Tiff was the one that put me in the back corner.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, you're like, Cameron, but at the end of the day, when you were junior, senior year and you're competing, she won a national championship.
Yeah.
She had a trophy this big. And it's like, not a lot of kids get to say that. But, when you can find the kids that all work together as a team, the whole teamwork thing is huge. And it can go from dance to sports to whatever it is. It carries over. And these kids figure it out, which is amazing because some of them don't.
Yeah.
We can sit there now. You're down at the studio. There's girl drama oozing off those walls some days.
Anytime you get a giant group.
Yeah, but there's days you're like sitting
together,
and you just see it, and it's like, let's be honest. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's magic. When you watch some of these groups together, and I'm like, it's fun to watch.
Especially in the age of social media and the fact that, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, it's, supposed to bring people together, but it kind of takes the social aspect out of it. Like you're not interacting personally. No. So dance is somewhere where my girls go, and I think it just kind of gets them back into the feeling of human interaction. You are communicating with people. You have to work with people. And it is profound to see the relationships that are built, the attitudes that are changed, the skills that are learned. It's just very, very cool. And for both of you to have your own business in an environment like today, not to like switch the subject, but I wanted to get your take on this because, we were talking about Gabe and of course, Spring Street and all the restaurants and all the bars and probably every business in today's environment. It's a struggle to own a business because you can't find good help. Prices are rising. You have to continually keep up with that. Technology.
Help. I'm still looking for good
Right?
help. Can you help me out here?
But the thing is, look at that.
Shit,
that's
what?
funny. You sit there talking about that, but the help is the
Yeah.
It is.
Like, I was totally joking with Dave Adam today.
Right.
But, it's one of those things, I used to be in this business. I used to write for the Herald Whig. I was
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a reporter for WGM.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. Hey, I had the whole Trivial Pursuit sports box rumor. I wanted to be on
I didn't know that.
ESPN,
Yep.
Right?
But it is. Like I told him, with all the stuff going on even today, like I told Dave this day, I said, I'm jonesing to get a pen and paper back out.
Yeah.
I'd love to some of this stuff to give an opinion.
Yeah.
And I know my opinion doesn't mean jack. But the thing is like how we have all been through. Think about the eras that we've been through. We've probably been through more eras of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
Than anybody around, especially with how social media has changed
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Technology
if
as a
social media was
whole.
out in
Ugh.
let's just say our prime? I know you guys were talking age earlier, but could you imagine if that was out there at that point in time?
Gross.
It's insane.
I'd be screwed. I couldn't do this because people would be dredging up shit left and right, throwing it at me.
I get it. And it's like they could just use it. Like, my fun fact right now is I know I have 2 pictures on my phone that I could blackmail my in-laws. And they know it. And I love it.
Oh,
but that's all I
Lanny.
need. Like, I don't want all the other stuff, but I know it can be fun, but it's so different. And it's like you said, with owning small businesses and trying to survive in this age with what we went through with COVID, and basically we weren't relevant.
Right.
We had to shut down.
You were not, what do they call it?
Essential.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, if you sat there and look at that store right now, what it was before and what it is now, it's not the same business.
Right.
Like, it was a soccer store. Like, my dream was when I bought that store was I was going to be the Quincy version of Soccer Master.
Right.
That's what we were going to have, and we were going to take care of everybody around here, and I was truly going to be the tri-state. Like, I looked at Springfield, and I looked at spots, and that's how it was. Well, then, poof, all of a sudden, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done. So it's like there's no sports. What do I do? I can't go to work.
Yeah.
What do I do? So now, like, when you go over there and you see all the fanware and all the things that we do, and changed our screen printing motto to, we do this for the store, but then we're doing stuff for businesses and getting all that out there and growing that part of the business. We went to having that as maybe 25% of our business because it was all sports. I have business now. I go to Florida I've been down to Florida twice in the last 4 months getting business down there because it's there to be had.
Right.
We were going to nationals.
And you can write it off.
And I can write it off.
I was going to say, beach.
Great story. Going to nationals, Tiff's Jones, and she hasn't shopped in however many hours since we left Memphis.
Right.
Can we stop in Hattiesburg? I just need to shop, and I found a teen boutique. Fine, let's go.
Yeah.
So I pull off.
It was a terrible impression of Tiffany, by the way.
She's
terrible.
She's going to whip
She
your
is
ass.
such a
She does
sweetheart.
this and a little more of the rabbit.
Yeah, there you
like
go.
this.
There you go.
Brittany, could you come back over and imitate?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I feel like I failed.
You did, but no, it was close.
So no, but it was like, so I go in the Mexican joint and have a couple margaritas before we go, and she's over there, and Harper comes running over. Dad, I think we're done shopping, but Mom just wanted to know if she could have your billfold for just a couple minutes.
Yeah. She did it right. She knows how to send
so
her
I go
over.
there,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to the boutique owner and stuff, and everything. We're talking. Give her my card because I see what she's paying. I'm like, hey, you're paying this for this. You're paying this for that. She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I can do it cheaper for you. Get this. So now, since we did that, they called me 3 weeks later after we got back. I now have her boutique business we're doing her T-shirts for. We have her husband's lumber company that we're doing stuff for. And her son just got a cafe. So now all of a sudden going to dance nationals. Now all of a sudden I got 3 businesses in Mississippi.
And that's how it's done, folks.
There you go.
Yeah,
Networking, baby. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
I can talk to a phone book.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, that's it. But it's just like, it's funny how it changed because that's what you really had to do. And like when I go to Florida, and one of my first ones was a classmate. And I talked to him, and he's down in St. Pete Beach. And he was just like, I came in and I did my whole spiel.
Yeah.
Here's what I can do. Here's our e-store things we can do for you. Here's what I can do. You don't have to get as much inventory, but you can sell as much, make as much money. And his business partner came up, and he's just like, done. I'm like, whoa, sorry, we're done. If you didn't, we're
Like, you kicking me out, or are we signing the dotted line?
He goes,
Yeah.
you had us. He goes, we've never had anybody come in here and actually work to get our business. And I'm like, really?
Weird.
And so they're like, so that day I left, got their business, obviously, went. Cardinal game down there that night. Another good friend of mine. They're like, oh, let's go to the game. So we go. So by the time that they came and picked me up to go to the game, he's like, oh yeah, I have you 5 more businesses that are signed up. He's like, the fact that what you told us and sold us, nobody down here is doing it.
Yeah.
So it's just, it comes back to, as long as people still like customer service.
Sure.
Granted, you can have all this technology and everything on social media, but people still like to know who you're talking to.
But it's still
They still like
essential,
to-
though, to have that social media and internet conduit. So once you've gone down and made that sale, you've still got the capability to monitor on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
again, I mean, obviously, social media is a big part of what we do, and we,
Yeah.
send out, story ideas and stuff, And again,
It's a great channel if used appropriately. And I saw this thing, it said Facebook. Who would have known that Facebook is now just a birthday reminder and a reminder of what you did 12 years ago? It's like,
pretty much.
But I love it.
It's like, and I've gone from 4 employees tonight. I have 9 now, which doesn't sound like a lot.
No,
but for that's
a
like
lot.
I
Yeah.
really have somebody now that takes care of nothing but social media, putting e-stores that we do online, putting on Facebook, putting things on there. And even like Ron, I mean, advertising here and doing stuff for the soccer top
thing.
11.
Yeah.
He sent me a thing the other day. It's still getting views.
Yeah.
And that's been over.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Matt did a great job on the top 11.
Yeah,
I think he did a good job. I can't say that I could.
That was a project he enjoyed working on,
He did. Good stuff. It's good.
as opposed to the last week. But okay, we're not going to do that. So,
Oh.
and speaking, there's one other social media
Just
thing.
locker room talk.
Just one other social media thing, though, I think is important is
You can't cut that.
we
by the way.
support while we support all of that. Ashley's OnlyFans page is private, but whenever she wants to roll it out,
It's my feet. It's feet
I
finder.
will accept that.
Feet
it's
finder.
her thing. We don't make any money off it,
Okay, here's the deal.
except for now I get the 5% for the pimp of it. So
Here's
there
the
you go.
deal, and I'm going to go ahead and be 100% straight with this. Times are tough. You got to do what you got to do. If you can make it on an OnlyFans, more power to you. There is no way I could do it.
Did you see the teacher in St. Clair?
2 of them.
Two of them.
Yeah, 2 of them
She
now.
had, one of them who got ratted out, but the other one was still there. And she said, yeah, I'm doing it too. And they both knew they were doing it. So now the other one is getting ready to quit. And they both already said because of all the publicity, their numbers went up so much, they're making like 5 times more than they were making when they were teaching.
Well, you know what? Shame on the school system for not paying enough, and these girls got to go be OnlyFans
To pay their
content
student
creators.
loans.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If corporations and businesses did better by their employees, because another thing I saw today was, loyal employees tend to get the shaft because they get the shaft as opposed to people who job hop every 2 to 3 years because
They're trying to get them on board.
They're trying,
right?
right.
You need them.
Yeah.
You're
no,
trying to
that's
show value.
They're kind of left in the dirt because they've already
very
been there. But
when
you got to get
have-
people because you're desperate.
So when you have corporations and large employers who you're just a number, and the school system, I apologize for saying it. I mean, it's a big, it's a big entity, and I know they can't really afford to pay, but that's what you get. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. And when your teachers go out to they do their side hustle or whatever, well, they're doing what they got to do, and more power to them.
Yeah.
And
one of those dads was on that page, and that's how they found out. So figure
here's
it
the
out.
thing.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you are, so OnlyFans is different, but what if they were a porn star? So, like, one of the interesting kind of dynamics is if you're doing it without pay, like you're a prostitute, right? So, or no, if you're doing it without a camera.
Without a camera,
When you're doing it without a camera, you're a prostitute and it's illegal, right?
1, 2, 3 cameras.
Right? But if you're doing it with a camera, it's porn and it's totally legit. So we got to get our shit together here if we're going to start chastising.
Do you have something to tell me?
No.
Okay, good.
There is no
let's
way
be
in
honest,
hell I
Bob.
could do
mean,
that.
if we sat there and they had a thing, I mean, I've never been on it, so I don't know. I've heard stories. I mean, I've heard. I mean, I've heard. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I've heard there's some residents of this town doing very well.
More power
at it.
to 'em.
And God bless you.
Hell yeah.
God bless your
That's
feet.
what I say.
I love you.
Can't
but
they
I
like
it.
block it though? So like if your town, can they like geocache that to where, okay, I don't want, if a young woman or man in Quincy, Illinois is doing their thing on OnlyFans, can't they go, okay, you can't show it in like 60 miles of Quincy? They can
Well,
do
like
that
I said,
sort
I
of
don't
stuff,
know.
right?
Why
St.
would you want
Clair.
to, though? See, here's my thing. If you're going to do it, you better do it proud. Because if somebody comes around, like if I'm in St. Louis and am on and I see you, I'm going to be like, why are you hiding? Like, just be confident with it.
Yeah, I mean, if they
do
had,
it if you're going to do it,
Chubby Chasers, I mean, I'd get a site.
dude.
Bob, I mean,
There's a lid to every freaking pot.
Why do you go to St. Louis once a month now?
OnlyFans. Secrets out. Secrets out, guys.
Yeah,
No,
the
but
funny thing about the whole St. Clair thing, I sat there that came up, and the only thing I'd sit there in St. Clair was, I had an aunt from St. Clair, poor Aunt Gladys. If she'd have known them school teachers were doing that around them kids.
yeah, right. Aunt Gladys.
I had a college classmate from St. Clair. She was great. She's like the director of the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
she's
it's just, hey, I don't have a problem with it.
It's the way of the
Like,
world.
Do what you
Like,
do.
if you got to do, no, not even got to. If you want to, do it.
You got it. But then, we could turn that in so many different directions. Like when we were just talking beforehand, so then when I see you walking into church on Sunday,
Yeah.
and I'm, and the thing is, the place didn't burn down with both you and I in it.
That's
It's been,
that's a miracle in and of itself.
I haven't even got to thank you for that. I've been going for about a year, over a year and a half now.
You have?
No kindling. Nothing's burnt. I go.
I'll give you a round of applause for that.
I take stuff out of it every week. I really do try to learn.
Yeah. So
I do try to learn.
I
But like
will-
that, but you go in there and you hear the talk, and it's like, how many people are actually doing that because they have to monetarily to survive?
I think it's that, or it's kind of like any other gig economy job. It's like, why do I want to work for some giant mogul or some asshole boss when I can do it my own? Like, duh.
Why
I mean,
not?
it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
I mean, if I had a CrossFit bod,
Yeah.
I'd be all over it.
I mean, I don't even think you need a CrossFit bot. I think it would just be like you got to find your niche. Like that's why I said feet finder, because I can promise you that if Luke would okay it, I would throw my feet out there. They're not even pretty, but I guarantee somebody would like them.
Mine would say magnifying glass required. Hey, if you can sit there in front of a monitor,
Tiffany,
like
I'm sorry.
Grower-not-shower.com.
It's all
But-
good. We can have fun, but you can have fun with that.
You're right.
That's where you almost have to like take it to the other one. It's like the OnlyFans, but then you can have one like for us that says dumb fans.
Hey,
Come on and see
Blind
us because
fans.
no, yours would
we
be
have it
you
for
don't
you.
have to be a fan. Yeah, it's not only fans. You don't have to be a fan. We're here. But,
We don't care.
You're right.
Pay the $1 subscription.
Right.
We'll be back in an hour.
So it's like religion. That's funny that you brought that up. We were talking before the table here, and my daughter's, she's very interested in her relationship with God. I have been known to say I'm not super religious, but I'm there to support her, and I love watching her and kind of watching her growth in that area. So I think it's very cool, which is another thing, like acceptance. It may not be my cup of tea, but I think we could all be a little bit better at supporting,
bet.
right? So
You
even
bet.
if you don't agree with OnlyFans or religion or a specific church, like if it's not harming you,
Yeah.
shut up and go about your business.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like social media comments or You know, it's like, just if it's not affecting you and you're not trying to hold someone accountable and you're not trying to create transparent, like, just zip it and move on.
Well, we have a tough time showing grace these days.
There you go.
Just to
That
say,
was a big word a couple weeks ago that had in church was grace.
And I was at St. Peter at 11 o'clock Mass on Sunday, and Father Zach was big talk about grace. It was also, let's not put God before sports and all kinds of things like that that really hit home. But again, it's like, you know, nobody else knows what somebody else is going through. That's the big part of it.
Yep.
And don't, you know, and again, we all have our own battles, and we all I would hope that we would all try to do the right thing most of the time, and we all stumble and fall and all that. But when we stumble and fall, or if someone does something that you might not approve of or whatever, just show some grace about it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to go along with it. You don't have to condone it. But just show a little grace about the situation.
Yeah, and it's funny because you sit there and it's like you're not to judge.
Yeah.
But the biggest judgers sometimes come out of those pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's tough, and you know it with like you said, saw you going in the other day, and things that do get addressed. Like churches are now forced to address these issues.
Yeah.
They are. And even like, I mean, Bob, even when you joked earlier about how somebody addressed you as Mr. or Mrs. or whatever, you know, when they do it, like, it's amazing the things anymore that just socially we have to try to adjust to.
Yeah.
And those are things like when some of that stuff came up, I'll be honest with you, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm sorry. I don't dwell that far. I'm okay with anybody's decisions, what they want to do.
Yeah.
I will not judge you. Absolutely. But it's like one of those things where it's kind of got to the point now where it's like, where is a line?
Yeah.
Where are we at that says, okay, we're here, but now we're kind of like, we fell off the waterfall.
Well, and I think the big thing is hate. You know, everybody's hating. I just don't see the hate. I don't know where, you know, how that became kind of the overall agenda is like, oh, we all just hate people because they're different. I think that's just false and made up, and it's a divisive, it's just weird. And it, you know, and it goes back to showing grace, or, hey, how about this? When you screw up, own it, apologize, man. It's integrity.
Yeah,
like it's the human nature of judgment is always going to be there, but it's hard to judge someone if they say, you know what, I screwed up. I'm human. I apologize. It is what it is, and move on about your day. And then next week there's going to be something different. It's when you sit and you kind of like, you sit in this pool of victimhood or self-pity that it's like, ugh, all right, dude, move on. There's more important fish to fry, right? I mean,
and it's like, and I know Brittany and I had a conversation too. It's like, you know, all those things with the hate and the bullying and all this stuff. And it's like, you know, pick up your bootstraps and go.
Yeah.
I was bullied as a kid.
Yeah.
Who wasn't probably? I mean,
I feel like I
you
may
find
have been a
those-
bully, so I apologize to everybody. I think I was. I don't think it was
You'd be
intentionally.
like, sit down.
Well,
You
that's
will
'cause
have another beer.
Just because I had
Sit,
to.
Tom.
No.
You're not
Listen,
leaving.
It was hard
No.
for people to take me seriously when I had to dress up in a lederhosen, right, and move around. But it is one of those things where, okay, bullying, it is alive and well. It's always been. But it's kind of one of those things, if you just address it, like, hey, with grace, I know whatever this bully is feeling really doesn't have anything to do with me. It's their own self, like they have this self-consciousness, or they feel a shortcoming, or, you know, there's something there that has nothing to do with the person getting bullied.
There's a reason. It's go look in the mirror thing.
And I think if we
There's
taught,
a reason why you're doing
I think if we taught that rather than, oh, your son's bullying my son, it would be a different conversation. Let's teach why this is happening, not so much how to.
Where are they learning it?
Right.
Why is it? Because, you know, a lot of times is it their insecurities?
Right.
Is it what they see at home?
Right.
Where are they getting this stuff from? Why would they even know how to do this stuff?
Right.
Like I was the fat kid in school.
Yeah.
Like they didn't draft me first to go play out in football. I was the best center. I could hike the ball.
Yeah.
But they weren't getting me to go run past anybody. But it was fine. I didn't care. You know, I was that last kid over there. I'm like, hey, kid, hello.
Yeah.
Let's go. But, you know, you had those, but you always knew than the other ones. If you ever question them, and I always played it was funny because I was that reverse psychology kid. I'd be like, so what's wrong at home?
Yeah, right.
Did you have a bad night? Mm-hmm. Why are you being mean to me today? I was that kid. I was the dickhead.
Yeah.
and it still carries over.
I can't see that.
Oh yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I can
Total
totally see that.
Total
Yeah.
dickhead. Yeah,
But one last
Can
thing.
we say dickhead?
We can say dickhead.
Okay.
As we wrap up, I guess the other one thing is to just say, another part of that is when we talk about the screwing up or whatever, own it instead of saying, oh yeah, but that person's whatever.
Deflecting.
It's the deflecting, it's the gaslighting, it's the what about that-ism. That has nothing to do with anything when you've done something. And it's like, yeah, I did that. But no, now it's like, well, I didn't do it. No, but she's a he or he's a he, or it's that part of it that just wears me
If you own it, and it's almost like if I had something wrong with me, right? If I can laugh about it first, it makes it right, but it makes it harder for you to hold that against me. So you have to have self-awareness, integrity, a willingness to laugh at yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not even saying thick skin, because F people who look at people's shortcomings and dog them on it, because that's just wrong. But if you as an individual can say, you know what, here's who I am, take it or leave it, I screwed up, sorry, move forward, it makes it that much harder for people to come at you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just everybody be friends.
Yeah,
Just be
right?
friends.
Or you don't even
I'll be there for you.
Right?
Which is, hey, by the way,
When the rain
the
starts
theme
to
of
fall.
Q dances this year is friends.
Oh, wow.
Everybody be friends.
And y'all did that
is
before he died.
full
That's pretty
circle.
prophetic.
Which they're actually going to dedicate a song.
Yeah.
To him, so it's
Yeah.
amazing. But no, you're exactly right. It's like it's one of those things anymore. It's like you can't hide from what you do.
No. Can't hide anymore.
There's too much. There's too much social media. There's too much. You don't
Everybody's
know
watching.
what actually is watching you. Like
Everybody's watching.
You have no clue.
Yeah.
So just, you know what? Just be better.
Yeah.
Everybody
Be better,
be
and
better.
if you screw up, that's okay, because we're human, and to err is human, and just apologize and move forward.
I mean, look where we've gotten.
Right?
Look at us three sitting
Here, here.
Yeah,
We have it.
cheers.
Cheers.
We're all friends,
You
right?
betcha
And on that
friends.
note,
We're out of here.
all right.
Thank you.
Tommy.
Thank
very
you
much.
for letting
A
me
lot
come
of fun.
across the
This is
glass
so
this
fun.
time. It'd be
We'll
great.
do it again. You don't
Maybe
have to
look-
just sit there and go.
Yeah, we'll be looking for your nose
I know.
prints.
The glass guy hates when I come over and he's like, they didn't let you over there again? I'm like, no.
Yeah, but you're keeping him in business too, so cheers to that too, right?
$40
Yeah.
every week.
There we go.
All right. Take care.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.